Good afternoon. Welcome to the board meeting of Wednesday, September 25th, 2019. Mr. Seychow, can we have a roll call, please? Is that you or Ms. Floyd? Are you okay? Yeah.
On the roll call to establish quorum, Student Director Garibo, Student Director Smith-Dahl, Director Hayden Hodge,
Present.
Director Harris, Director Yee, Director Gonzalez, Director Torres, Vice President London,
Yes.
President Ng.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. The board will now recess into closed session. We will be taking up the items listed in the agenda. The board will reconvene for a public session at 5:30. Thank you. The board is now in recess. All right, we're ready to reconvene to public session. We apologize for the delay. If folks can have a seat, that would be great. We're about to get started. All right, Mr. Rakestraw, can we have a second roll call, please?
Yes, on the attendance roll call. Student Director Garbo, Student Director Smith-Dahl, Director Hinton Hodge,
Present.
Director Harris, Director Yee,
Here.
Director Gonzalez,
Here.
Director Torres, Vice President London,
Here.
President Ng.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. There was no reportable action taken in closed session today. I will review our oath of office and meeting norms for the Board of Education before we jump into our meeting. The oath of office is found on page 6 of the printed agenda. You can read the oath yourself. Meeting norms for the Board of Education. We will honor the time, act as a collective body, check for understanding, surface assumptions, share divergent views, value this as a learning opportunity, celebrate successes in each other's contributions, presume positive intent, and no personal attacks. So we do have one special order of the day that we're very excited about. It's a recognition of our 3 Teachers of the Year from 2019-2020. They are Precious James, Tantra Love, and David Ramirez III. I will hand it over to our Chief Officer of Talent, Ms. Tara Gard, who will introduce each of our honorees tonight.
Okay. Good evening, board, student board members, superintendent. This evening, we are honoring 3 of our most outstanding educators. You may remember that back in April, they were selected as the 2019-20 Teachers of the Year. They have been celebrated ever since, including by the Oakland A's on A's Teacher Appreciation Day. And they will be honored by the Alameda County Office of Education on October 3rd. Tonight is the night we recognize these outstanding teachers in front of the OUSD board, superintendent, peers, and community. I would like to welcome our 3 Teachers of the Year: Precious James, 4th, 5th grade teacher at Madison Park Academy. Then we have, if Tantra and David can stand up for a second, Tantra Love, traditional kinder teacher at Sequoia. David Ramirez III, math teacher at Urban Promise Academy. All right. You can stay right here. You can face the board. That's fine. Our first Teacher of the Year nominee, Precious James, is well known for having an unwavering commitment to students' achievements and teacher development while she proudly co-creates generations of mathematicians. She's been with OUSD for 10 years. Precious was brought to OUSD through Teach Tomorrow in Oakland. She was also named a Teach Tomorrow in Oakland's Teacher of the Year and was celebrated by the City of Oakland and former Mayor Ron Dellums with a day in her honor. She believes 100% that it's her duty to provide students with a learner's stance so they are always seeking out learning and shaping it for themselves. Her class is a place where students learn to make conceptual sense of mathematics, determine important relationships, and apply math to solve the real challenges and problems of the 21st century. We can all be grateful that teachers like Precious are taking on this challenge during times such as these. Precious has taken an extensive leadership roles, not only at Madison, but beyond. She is the mathematics all-grade team lead, as well as a team lead for grades 3-5. She has served on the Effective Teaching Task Force. The district instructional leadership team was formerly on the second grade Common Core curriculum production team, and she served in the Assessment of Learning series as a co-facilitator. Impressively, in each of the past 3 years, her team has made double-digit gains on the SBAC, which means, she has a good team, she said, which measures student knowledge of English language arts and math standards. And their site has shown over 80% of students reaching 1 year or more in reading growth. She embodies her own words. When students know and believe that you are someone they can rely on, then and say it for me. I should let you say it for me.
When students know and believe that you are someone they can rely on, then liberatory and life-changing learning can take place.
Thank you, Precious.
It's kind of cool. Wasn't something I was expecting, not in the 10 years I've been a teacher. I always forget that I'm Teacher of the Year because this work is never ceasing. I always forget that because in my classroom right now, I serve 70 students who are just discovering what it means to be a mathematician. I want them to understand that this award means nothing if they're not learning, that this award means nothing if we're not in relationship, and this award means nothing if they don't get mastery of standards, because the world don't owe them nothing. They're not entitled to anything. Racism and trauma and all that is always going to exist. And that if they're not persevering and showing pride and believing in endless possibilities despite major institutional and systematic racism, it don't matter. I believe strongly that every student can learn. I believe strongly that every student will only learn with relationship. I believe strongly that every student will only learn with a teacher and a school site and a family who believes in them. I see it every day at Madison Park Primary when my principal and my sister, Sabrina Bree Moore, with Ms. Chloe, who leads with love, with all teachers who are showing our students every day that it's possible. So thank you for this award, but it means nothing if my kids don't know how awesome and magnificent they are, and it's my job to do that every day. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to bring up our second Teacher of the Year, Tantra Love. Tantra works with some of our youngest students and has been with the district for 9 years. It should come to no surprise that she wanted to be a teacher for as long as she could remember, especially since her grandfather and her mother were both teachers before her. In her classroom, children are provided a safe place filled with love and challenge. They are exposed to positive self-esteem while also learning to self-assess their behavior and internally motivate their choices. All of this is transitional kinder. Never mind the age, her students are exposed to a rigorous curriculum in which, most importantly, they are represented. She views teachers as protectors of childhood, believing that the social emotional health and well-being of her students is paramount. She says her goal is to plant seeds in the minds of her students so that someday they will draw on their present-day lessons to enrich their own lives later. We know all good teachers are also lifelong learners, always growing professionally themselves, which Tandra models. She serves as a diversity committee member and has supported Sequoia faculty in tackling discussions around sensitive topics of race and equity. She has been involved in school-wide efforts for positive behavior supports and has helped make key decisions about curriculum, strategic direction, and teachers' professional development. She assists as a hiring committee member, aiding with teacher and principal hiring, is known for consistently taking on extra responsibilities at her school site. She is always seeking out professional learning opportunities for her own growth and eagerly sharing them with her colleagues. Best of all, Tantra students leave her classroom with a strong academic foundation, accountable for making their community and their extended world a better place. We are very lucky to have her.
I just wanted to say thank you. I've been teaching for 24 years, and I can't do what I do without the kids and the families and the other teachers behind me. I feel like every day I am growing, and it's the hardest job in the world and a job that I would only do. I want to thank my own family as well, but all the teachers in the room and all the families, thank you for what you do, because you make us be the best we can be. So thank you.
Okay, last but certainly not least, I'd like to call up David Ramirez. David is our final Teacher of the Year, who, like Tandra, wanted to be a teacher ever since he was a child. His entry into teaching came through Teach for America in 2009. He has been with OUSD for 9 of those 10 years. David is known for setting high expectations for his students and giving them the skills, encouragement, and emotional support to reach the goals he sets for them. He creates an extremely organized and rigorous learning environment where students are motivated to learn no matter what their level of math. He incorporates challenging STEM lessons and student academic discourse strategies in his curriculum. A visit to his classroom clearly demonstrates students engaged in academic discourse, as well as his ability to form excellent relationships. Students are fully engaged, and many return while in high school to volunteer or work for him during the AIM High summer program. There, he closely mentors and provides them with professional working experiences and skills. Like Precious and Tantra, David is greatly involved in being of service to his school community. He serves as the Math and Science Department Chair, School Site Council member, and the Urban Promise Academy School Leadership Team. He is crew coordinator and is responsible for creating social and emotional learning lesson plans for all grade levels. For 2 years, he coordinated the California Healthy Kids Survey and was awarded the highest response rate of all middle schools in the district. During the 2016-17 school year, he also demonstrated his administrative skills serving as Dean of Students. Like all excellent educators, he helps build habits that develop students into well-rounded individuals and leaders in their community. David believes that every student is capable, and a visit to his classroom proves it. Congratulations.
Just like everybody else said, thank you so much for this award. Definitely want to say thank you to all the students that I've taught. I think they are the #1 coaches for me to developing into the teacher that I am. And for me, this award just means got to continue to work harder and to make sure that we are making the goals for our students here in OUSD. Thank you.
All right. Well, we can vote when we come back. All right, let's go down for a photo.
So, just the last one. These are 3 extraordinary educators. The Teacher of the Year program shines a light on the complex challenges that confront our schools, as well as the need to promote high levels of collaboration and teamwork to meet those challenges. Teachers who successfully employ strategies to increase academic success and narrow the achievement gap with a wide range of diverse students deserve our recognition and praise. David, Tandra, and Precious are three outstanding examples of OUSD teachers whose passion and dedication are making a critical difference for our students and families in Oakland. On behalf of the district, I'm happy to recognize Tandra Love, Precious James, and David Ramirez as the 2019-20 OUSD Teachers of the Year.
All right. Congratulations. Let's come down for a group photo shot.
I had a goddaughter.
Yes, on it. Now, this time we have to take the more formal vote and adoption. Is there a motion to adopt? Item I-1, moved by Director Harris, seconded by Vice President London. Is there any? Oh, yes. Is there any comments by the board? Aside from congratulations. We'll take public comment at this time on this item, if there is any. Ms. Floyd?
Yes, President Ng. I have 7 speakers. However, some may be speaking on other items, so if so, they can let me know. Michael Lowton, Veronica Sanchez, Lakeisha Young, Jim Mordecai, Asada Olabala, Ben Tapscott, Carol Delton.
If any of the speakers are here to speak on Teacher of the Year, please come forward now. Does not appear so. Mr. Rakestraw, can we have a roll call, please?
Student Director Garba.
Present.
Yes or no or abstain?
Yes.
Director Smith-Dahl,
Yes.
Director Hinton-Hodge,
Yes.
Director Harris, Director Yee,
Yes.
Director Gonzalez,
Yes.
Director Torres is absent. Vice President London,
Yes.
President Ng.
Yes.
Motion's adopted.
Thank you. Congratulations again to Ms. James, Ms. Love, and Mr. Ramirez III. So at this time, we will take modifications to the agenda. I have one. I am pulling item P43. That will come back to the board at a later time. Are there other modifications to the agenda?
Is that off tonight or is that?
P43 is off tonight. Today, we are doing a different, experimenting with a different format. Items that do get pulled from consent, we will take up at the end of the meeting after new business. But we will take them up later tonight, except for P43. I am pulling it from the agenda tonight. Other modifications?
President Ng, this is Director. I have some changes.
Okay, Director Gonzalez, go ahead. And then Director Hinton-Hodge and Vice
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Director Gonzalez.
Okay, so the first one is P16. This is a lease to the City of Oakland. P13, contract with MK Think. P10 through P12 for Johnson Fire Control, P7 for Landfear Gregory, and P5 for Rook Electric. Most of these are non-bid, no-bid contracts, and 2 I think they warrant board discussion.
Thank you, Director Gonzalez. I will repeat what I believe I heard you say. I heard you say P16, P13, P10 to 12. So that would be 10, 11, and 12. P7
Correct.
and P5.
Madam President, for the record,
That's right.
the correct pronunciation of those numbers is P dot.
P
hyphen.
dot dash.
Right.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mixer.
Director Hinton-Hodge, did you have additional items?
I don't have anything to pull. I just wanted to acknowledge closing this meeting in honor of someone, so I just wanted to bring that. So that to our colleagues, indulge me in honoring Millie Ann McNeil, who was a mother of West Oakland, a mother of many schools in West Oakland, in particular Prescott. And she raised many children in Campbell Village as well. So she has passed on after tremendous work and labor in our community. And so I just want to close this meeting in honor of her and so many of her children that went through the system, and Sam McNeil, who taught at McClymonds High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Hinton-Hodge. Vice President London, did you have an item?
There's a contract with Tramatola. I can't find the number of it, but I want to pull that one as well.
I believe I saw it P dot dash 3. Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's a number of items that have been pulled. Those items will all come back to the board at the end of the meeting after we finish with new business. So at this time, we're going to move on to reports. I'm going to suggest, like we did last time, that we will go through all of the reports and hold our comments from the board until we've gone through all of the reports and comments, and at the same time that we're doing public comment on the agenda items A through N. We do have a public hearing tonight that starts at 7 p.m. And after the public hearing, we will move on to public comment on non-agenda items, which should be around 7:30 or shortly thereafter. Besides that, we'll go through the agenda as is printed and publicized. So at this time, we are going to turn it over to our student board members for the board member report.
Good evening, board members, superintendents, students, families, and community. The All City Council Student Union Governing Board is excited to share with you all what we have been up to and what we are planning in the next couple of weeks. Our first ACC Middle School General Meeting was held last Tuesday, September 17, hosted by the amazing student leaders of Elmhurst United. It was powerful seeing our young leaders coming together, building community, getting to know each other across school sites, and exploring what is a leader and what leadership looks like. We also had the opportunity to orient them on who we are as All City Council and our role in shifting our schools and the education system to put students first in the OUSD. In addition, we did an introduction to research and the power of research, since one of the leadership skills we will be developing with ACC Middle School this year will be to understand how to lead and apply youth participatory action research. We were lucky to have approximately 25 students and adult allies representing their schools. The schools present included West Oakland Middle School, Elmhurst United, Bret Harte, Montera, and Anna Brewer.
Each meeting received school board reports from the delegates. We gather school reports to see a glimpse of how our middle schools are functioning. We then compile those reports to present at the board meetings. The following is a list of concerns and opportunities at school sites. Elmhurst United mentions some improvements that have been taking place at their school, including the merger, working really well so far. Students are happy to see more teachers and resources being provided and are enjoying their new water refill station, keeping them hydrated and more energetic in classes. They also mentioned the change in the new uniform colors. Some concerns they have are better food during lunch, more social events, and student behavior in classes. Currently, elections for student government are being held in their student leadership. And Naburra Middle School also mentioned that improvements being restorative justice becoming an enrichment for students. Currently, their student leadership seems to be working on recruiting new RJ leaders. Some problems they mentioned are their dress code being taken very seriously. They are currently signing petitions and working with their principal to negotiate proper dressings that fit with the eyes of the students. Some upcoming events are Spirit Week, and they are very excited to show their school spirit. Unfortunately, we were not able to collect school reports on the schools present, but we'll sure to give you an update at one of the upcoming board meetings.
Last week, we had our meeting with our superintendent, Dr. Kyla Thurmell Johnson. We discussed our plans and goals for the upcoming year surrounding our vision on how to be better OUSD and identify core values around adult and youth partnership. We want to appreciate her for taking the time to visit our office and get connected and build community with all our ACC elected student union governing board members. We are looking forward to continuing to build partnership with our superintendent and to more opportunities like this with more district leaders where we can come up with solutions to the problems that we as Oakland students face in our everyday life.
This week, we are excited to have ACC participated in Unity Day, an annual event led by Youth Together that has been going on for 8 years within the selected high schools in OUSD. Unity Day began in 2001 as a way to respond to racial tensions, to build solidarity within schools, and to arm students, to promote peace within our community. Unity Days are for our community to come together and arm students with knowledge and tools they need to fight for collective liberation. We also see this as an effort to make sure we as a community are building our school communities to be stronger through circles led by youth and teachers and workshops on unity, resistance, identity, leadership, also led by students and community partner organizations. The participating schools include Skyline on Monday, McClymonds on Tuesday, and tomorrow, Thursday, will be at Castlemont. Hopefully we can bring this to all schools eventually because all schools need spaces like these to build community.
We are excited to announce our next All-City Council Student Union meeting for middle school student leaders, Tuesday, October 8th, from 12 to 3 p.m., hosted by the student leaders at West Oakland Middle School. We would like to invite 3 to 4 student leaders from each of our middle schools, along with their school site leadership teacher or student engagement staff, to accompany the students. Please RSVP by October 4th. Registration info will be posted on our Instagram page soon. Also, our next high school meeting will be at Life Academy on October 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We'll be discussing different ways students can get excited and energized around civic engagement. We would like for high school student delegates and their leadership adult allies to be present. More details and registration information will be posted on our Instagram pages as well.
Lastly, we want to shout out all students, teachers, staff, and district leaders who came out or supported the efforts of Youth Desire to stand up for climate justice last Friday at the Global Climate Strike. The energy and leadership of our youth to call attention to the need to truly save our planet is not only inspiring but absolutely necessary. The conversations around the state of our planet must continue in our classrooms, in our school communities, and by our district leaders and by this board. We need to take some serious actions as a school district and need to start by hearing what our ideas that students have around this. For flyers, permission slips, or more information on any announcements that we made, please contact All City Council Student Union via Instagram at All City Council OUSD or email me at micah.smith-doll@ousd.org and denoson@denoson.garibo@ousd.org or our meaningful student engagement staff, Aurora Lopez at auroralopez@ousd.org.
Thank you.
Thank you for that great report. I know that there are some comments, but we're going to hold them off till the end. For the president's report today, I don't have much to report on. I just wanted to remind everybody that Yeah. At this time, we're going to recess the meeting. If board members would like to leave the dais, they can.
Like 500 words, and I studied them all. There was paraphernalia and acrimonious, the last 2 words. I studied really hard.
Pretty excited because my brother made it to the district 2 years ago and he failed, so.
I felt a little bit better, especially after I spelled a word correctly, because I knew they were counting on me to win, or at least do the best I could.
They should just know what words they're going to be and just do your best, you know.
Today, it was a lot of energy, a lot of support, a lot of love. It felt good being on a bus, going throughout Oakland, seeing all the support we have.
Today is the Oakland High and Oakland Tech State Championship Parade for basketball. We started at Oakland Tech. We went around all downtown Oakland, past some elementary schools and high schools, and had a good time.
Today was really fun, seeing all the little kids outside cheering us on and all the posters they made for us. It was really sweet because I didn't even think that they knew about us.
Well, it's been pretty fun. Like, when we stopped in downtown and they had like purple and blue signs and stuff, so many people out on the street and stuff and just waving. So it's like pretty cool to know like people support us.
Everything we've done, you kind of you wonder how it's going to go. The moment I got to Tech, I was just like, oh man, kids were out there, lunch was letting out, it got loud. Our cheerleaders did a number before we left, just unexpected. Kind of a good place to be because it's a little nervous excitement. I was so impressed when we went by one of the schools and they made signs, you know, Oakland Tech champs, like a little kid, you know, but no, incredible day.
Actually being able to go to the elementary schools and the junior high schools and see the kids smile, and we bought a whole lot of candy and we were throwing candies. I know the teachers kind of went crazy. I really enjoy seeing them and getting out and shaking hands with them and giving them beads and just putting a smile on their face, and that's what it's really about.
It was a lot of energy from both teams, Oakland High and Oakland Tech. It felt good having both teams driving throughout Oakland, so it was a lot of energy. The energy was above, beyond.
It's been a lot of happiness and like a relief because we all worked very hard for this day and night. And there's been days where we wanted to give up, there's been days where we cried together, and now we just all came together and achieved this accomplishment.
We're both from Oakland, we're both in the Unified School District, so to have both of us there, it's really a step up for Oakland because people think that we're not as good in basketball because we go to a public school, but that's just showing that public schools can do it too.
It means a lot because when we won, it was during Women's Month, so it felt good winning during Women's Month, especially like Oakland. Like Oakland, you know, they're known for like crime, violence, and stuff, so it felt good just seeing something positive happen in Oakland with girls winning basketball.
Nowadays, a lot of people think, oh, because I'm a girl, I shouldn't be playing basketball. I'm not good at basketball. It's a men's sport, so to show them people wrong, it really is encouraging for young women, especially me.
It's important because they need to see someone like them. They need to see that there are girls that are out here in the community doing good things.
You're going to have your days where you want to give up, and you're going to have your days where you lost all your confidence and where you just don't want to do it anymore, but you have to really dig down deep and find your inner self and look in the mirror and look at the pros and cons, and most likely the pros are going to overweigh the cons. And always have confidence in yourself. No matter who doubts you, if you doubt yourself, go and talk to somebody that still believes in you.
I just say like working hard with your team, putting in the work and the effort, and play as a team. Don't play for yourself, just play for your team.
This is the second year that African American Office of Female Excellence has really brought girls together and women together to spend time with one another, teaching one another, learning with one another, and empowering one another around what it is to be a Black woman.
You are power. You are power. Ashe, amen. The global world is still standing is because Black women are still standing. Ashe.
I think that in terms of creating support for young girls of color, it's important to see role models who are like them and can talk to them about struggles. This event with Oakland Unified School District, I think, is an amazing way to start that journey.
So we have a pledge asking for a community
opportunity to have a call to action. What are we doing in our institutions? What are we doing in our places of business? What are we doing in our schools and our community centers to ensure that girls are not exposed to the kind of conditions that are not healthy for them? What are we doing to make sure they have opportunities? We don't want girls to always feel like victims. We also want to lift up their aspirations, and they have a ton of aspirations. We have a responsibility to interrupt some of the things that we see going on in schools and in the community. Much of what girls are asking us is, where are our adult supports, our adult allies? We just need to regroup and see where we need to be and be present and participatory.
I wanted to check it out because it not only included girls, but it also included black women like myself. I thought it would be really beneficial. In the first part of the morning, I learned that black is power, and not only should you love yourself, but you should also love your culture because it really means a lot to you.
Getting an education so that we can go out and we can give back to our community, because our community definitely needs educated girls.
I think the biggest thing is definitely around power, with the theme being about the protection of women and the return of the warrior queen. Another part of it is also sisterhood, and so realizing that once we have that power and love for ourselves, then we can then give that back to each other, which just makes us stronger.
We found that it was our job and task and duty to make sure that the young women are empowered with the sense of equity, inclusion, and self-advocacy, so that they are able to empower the next generation after them.
They teach us how to be leaders and stuff, and how to lead your own work, and how to just stand out. I feel like it was very inspirational because they're black women, and I feel like they express how they were feeling, and that we should speak the truth and speak how you feel.
Don't scream. Don't move. Too late. One shot, two shot. Who shot? Your block. 3 cops, 4 cops. We lock your pops. Your son, your mom. 3 moms, 4 moms, 5 moms, 10 mil. Standard. Stay still. Dead still. Young defenseless. Labeled reckless. Life begets us. Fire won't end us. Thank you.
I think this event will help me with my goals in the future by giving me social skills and confidence, because at first I wasn't really sure about myself and my self-esteem was really low, but as I listened to their speeches, it really encouraged me to keep going.
Whoa, I am that warrior queen. Wow, I do have power. Wow, there's a sister sitting next to me that's maybe older than me or younger than me. Wow, I'm about to spend the whole day with all these beautiful, beautiful black women.
They have 3 sessions of different workshops. One is around self-defense. There's another workshop around how do I develop myself. That includes finances, my self-esteem. We added more workshops for adults. How do you deal with your child who's experiencing trauma? How do you actually navigate the conditions that we find our children in now? And so we did that because we wanted also parents to be talking about what does it mean to be a part of this movement to advance girls.
I would like for Oakland Unified School District and Oakland to invest in our black women. Black women hold us up. Black women are the reason why we're still here. Black women are the reason why we have a lot of our rights, and you're welcome.
Next year come, it's so empowering, it's so amazing, it's just like a place to be.
Our hope for Black Girl Power is that they find their inner power, their inner spirit, and so that they can actually thrive wherever they are.
You should come to this event because they'll help you succeed and you'll really understand their message that they're trying to tell you, and that even if the world has its back on you because of your identity, then you should ignore them because you should be grateful for who you are and proud.
Today here at Dewey Academy, we're hosting a grand opening for our health lab.
Today we gathered to celebrate the medical lab that we set up, which is the first medical lab here in Northern California. And it's very special because it's here at Dewey Academy, the alternative high school.
This is an amazing space where students have an opportunity to explore 12 different health science career fields. With each field, they learn a little bit about what the professionals have to do in that area, as well as they get exposure to some hands-on activities in each area.
For my class, we were kind of the first class to join the lab and actually experience it. We started off without the equipment, so we just started doing the modules. I learned how to take people's blood, take people's vitals. I also learned how to stitch. We did it with the prosthetic arm.
We got to learn how to strap a person up in a medical board and a lift, and how to, like, you know, wrap each other up and stuff. So it was more like a lot of hands-on training. That I like to do that too.
Not too long ago, I did get in a car accident and my friends was hurt, and I was able to like wrap up their arms and stuff because they did have bruises on their eyes and stuff, and they had it on their arms. We didn't have to go in that day because I already had wrapped them up and stuff. I just feel like they teach you more of life skills. They show you situations that you really gonna be in.
We invited industry partners, community partners to view students in our health lab so that they would be able to see how students have hands-on practices and skills to move into the health field.
2 of my students, they got 2 internships with the HEAL program, the Highland Hospital HEAL program, and they went above and beyond. So what they learned and their drive to dig deeper into the professions and go to school to actually be able to become a nurse or a surgeon, they have really risen.
It was a Highland internship where I get to learn behind the scenes, like I get to see the surgeries and stuff, and just learn like hands-on about like what doctors do at the hospitals.
What we're trying to do is work with community partners to help break down the barriers for students in Oakland to get into these career fields by giving them exposure both at the school site and giving them exposure to the academic terminology, but also the soft skills that are necessary to be successful in an internship.
When I had that class, literally all the other classes, all you do is sit down and do work. And so every time I knew I had that class, I was like super excited to go over there. And everyone's super nice in there, and all they want to do is help you gain more knowledge.
I'm just very excited that a lot of people got to see what we're doing here at Dewey and hope that other schools will implement this program too.
I had the privilege of teaching the first marking period here at Dewey, and to have students enter the health lab who doubted themselves and didn't see themselves in a health career. And as they progressed through the 6 weeks, I saw a confidence increase. I saw students become more independent and really see what they're capable of. I saw a big increase in confidence and also interest in exploring health careers.
Miss Cheyenne, she opened my eyes to this stuff. She showed me like what I could do as an African American male. She showed me that it's more than just sports and rapping. It's like you could actually do this. Like it's more like you could be somebody. She showed me about that.
We want to make sure that our students, when they come to Dewey Academy, our mission and vision says that we are a caring adult community. That's where we start, that's where we begin. We wrap around our students to make sure that they are loved and that they understood that they are cared about. Because as everyone knows, if you don't feel cared about, then you don't care about how much you know. So we want to make sure that they understand that we are here to support them, that they can depend on us, that they can trust us, and we're not going anywhere. We're not going to push them away. We actually pull them in.
Change the world! Change the world! Change the world with our hearts! I have a dream!
We must follow his words and do the right thing at the right time like him. Yes, this is the time to stop discrimination. This is the time to stop violence. This is the time to stand up against hate. This is the time to stand up for Black Lives Matter. And this is the time to stand up for each other.
Today is the 40th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Oratorical Festival Finals.
Schools at all grade levels from pre-kindergarten through 12th grade across Oakland's public schools, community schools, charter schools, private schools, and even students that are homeschooled participate. I just want to say thank you for Donald Oliver's vision, for the students of Oakland Public Schools, for their family and our community, that we are able 40 years later to continue this tradition.
En mis sueños no hay una palabra para guerra. In my dreams, there is no word for war.
I quit not giving 100%. I quit dimming my light so others won't have to squint. I quit hesitation, desperation, expectation, and devastation. I quit. Thank you.
Donald Oliver, who was a teacher in the district, had this vision of wanting to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., while at the same time looking for something that showed academic rigor. And so he created this new form through public speaking.
I'm a black parrot. She did not love me, so I wept until the red dawn dripped blood over the eastern hills, and my heart was bleeding too. I'm a phenomenal woman. That's me. I'm a woman phenomenally.
We are here to love each other. That's why you are alive. That's what life is for. I've learned that people forget what you said. What did she say? People forget what you did.
Oh no, she didn't.
But people never forget how you made them feel.
That vision has lived for 40 years. It's a tradition of the community. It highlights how amazing Oakland Unified School District students are. They shine, they're brilliant. They are word slangers and poets, actors, orators. We had young people here channeling Dr. King.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountaintop. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Thank you.
Bringing back important history that's being passed on to our youth that celebrates, I think, who we are as a community, who we are as Oaklanders, who we are as activists, socialists, social movements that Oakland is known for. And all of that took place today here at Skyline High School Theater.
The original vision of the Black Panther Party. Black Panther Party was to provide leadership for the people. Leadership for the people. The primary job of the Black Panther Party. Black Panther Party was to serve the people. Serve the people.
But we've always been able to see for ourselves ever since our third eye crafted the framework of ancient civilization. As young pupils of the cosmos, dilating from humans to gods, and we saw divinity in our melanin before the Western world whitewashed us from gods to humans to shadow to modern spectacle. But no, our sight did not get lost in the Atlantic or submerged in the depths of slavery. No, our colored lens did not fog up in the burning of Mississippi or crack under the pressure of COINTELPRO. Instead, we saw truth beneath surface lies, a truth buoyed on the backs of bloated black bodies that rose like my father to lift his voice and sing, that forced me to step out of line, even if it meant stepping out alone. For what we have seen, we can never unsee. Our experiences colored our lenses like our melanin did our skin, painted by the palette of our past, allowing us to see the truth rising to the surface like bloated black bodies' eyes, bulging with history, looking up. Thank you.
Carry our mother tongues. Oi, ho, vive, amor, love, pin'an, salam, shalom, paz, peace, siwa, amen, hofuno, esperanza, ho, ho, ho. As we drift in our rubber boats from shore to shore to shore.
This is one of my favorite times of the year. We get to bring some of our kids that have really shown a lot of interest in science over the year, and they get get to meet some real, actual scientists.
I'm having dinner with a scientist. I've never met a scientist or even talked to one, so it's going to be really interesting to ask them about why did you want to be a scientist? What do you get to do? Is it a good job? Like, do you get paid well?
I'm really excited about it. I know that we're gonna get to speak with scientists, which that's what I'm excited for, because I'm really into the science field, and yeah, I have a lot of questions like, what does it take to become a neuroscientist, or what are some of the main classes we have to take to become a neuroscientist?
Today is the annual Dinner with the Scientists event. Chevron is a major sponsor. Tonight I'm here representing our company and being one of the scientists and introducing kids to all the STEM activities.
What's really cool about the way this event is done here in Oakland is all the diversity, so they get to see a lot of different types of people who are scientists going in a lot of different fields. They have a lot of different backgrounds that like bring them into it. Just the kids getting to see all that diversity and see science in a way they probably didn't see it before, I think is really fun.
I remember one of them was a chemist, and then I wanted to be a chemist.
I'm looking forward to see neuroscientists because that's the field I'm trying to go to. It was a movie in 5th grade that got me into being a neuroscientist, because I saw that regardless of your skin color, that shouldn't matter to pursue what you want in life.
I like doing experiments. I made a volcano. I did elephant foam. I want to study science. I want to study chemistry. I like to, it's really interesting. I like to do experiments. We've made cars by a balloon. We made a hot air balloon too.
So my demo tonight would be day in the life of the scientist. I will walk the students through picking out the correct protective gear with a lab coat and the appropriate gloves, and of course, safety goggles and glasses, and then actually running them through an experiment. I'm going to have them take notes in these little notebooks that they hand out, and that's a scaled down version of what a scientist does every day.
OUSD just does a fabulous job supporting their science teachers, and I feel really blessed to just have been taking advantage of all these opportunities given to me to speak with colleagues, take my students to events that maybe other teachers in different districts don't have access to. So just really, really happy to be at this district with regards to being a science teacher. It's awesome.
It's really cool. This is a really good event. I really like it.
We talk about our students learning. I feel like we principals learned a lot today about how Sacramento works, the legislative process. We made some good connections with some folks here in the legislature.
Has
Things
left
that we're
the conference.
asking for, one is debt forgiveness for the $100 million loan that the state gave us in 2003, of which we paid 2/3 of it. So we're asking for the last third to be forgiven. We also asked for a higher per pupil spending. And the third thing is just a review of charter school law so that we can all be more on equal footing as we try to serve all the kids in Oakland.
To stand in solidarity with the crisis that public education's in, and felt it was in our best interest to move to the Capitol and to really talk about how decisions being made here are impacting us down at the ground level.
I wanted to be here because I wanted to physically do something to show my teachers and students that I support them. And it was really important for me to work with other principals because we're never in the same room, but to know that we're all on the same page fighting for the same thing for the kids in Oakland was really meaningful to me.
What the teachers are arguing for is just. We believe that more funding has to come into the public school system, and eventually, yes, that trickles down to the teachers, and it makes it so that they're paid like professionals.
What I heard clearly is that there are people on our side that understand the importance of funding education and the importance of public education.
I'm feeling empowered. A lot of the feedback was like, wow, we've never had principals just walk in here and talk to us. It's always, somebody a little further up, or we hear about what teachers are thinking through the teachers union or teacher strikes. And so we felt like we were bringing voice that hadn't been heard before, and that was kind of the feedback that we got, was that, we don't hear from you very often, if at all.
off.
At the end of the day, for me, the most important people in our school district are the teachers, the students, and the family. And so we want to make sure that we have teachers that are going to stay in our city, in our district.
I would say if we're really doing this work because we know it saves lives and changes outcomes for students, how can we not find the money? We need teachers in schools teaching our young people so that we can have a generation of young, educated people to lead the work.
My hope is that we see more principals stepping out like this and making their voices heard, because we can speak on behalf of our teachers and our students and their families, because we work so closely with all of them, and I really hope to see more leadership like this from site leaders.
This is a big deal. Once a year, we have this big celebration of science here at Chabot Space and Science Center. We're super excited that you're here today.
We are at the Chabot Space and Science Center for the Science Fair.
We have projects from over a third of our schools, mostly elementary and middle. We have over 200 projects on display, and tonight is a celebration of these kids.
The name of my project is Gravity in a Parachute, and my question was, do different weights change how fast a parachute falls?
So my project name is Who Has Better Reflexes. I want to test who has better reflexes for people who play video games or people who don't.
Thank you for working so hard, and congratulations on having your project here. Our goal here at Chabot is to spark curiosity, to nurture exploration, and to inspire a joy in learning.
And we worked hard together to make sure that every single kid at every school across Oakland has a high-quality science experience.
Chabot has hosted the District Science Fair for the last 61 years. It's great to continue this long tradition and to continue to encourage our students to explore the world around them. Any opportunity to include family members, just come celebrate their child's learning is a way to further strengthen their child's educational opportunities. So we always try to create events that not only are for students and teachers, but also allow family members and parents to come to celebrate their child's success.
It's actually really fun. Like, I have a whole bookshelf of like science books because my parents are both scientists. My dad's a chemical engineer and my mom's a geologist, geochemist.
So I wanted to see if acids or alkalis could actually conduct electricity. So I thought at first that the more corrosive a liquid is, meaning the closer to the beginning or end of the pH scale, the better it will conduct electricity. Well, I found out that actually my hypothesis was correct. The more corrosive a liquid is, the better it will conduct electricity.
This event also creates an opportunity for a number of our partner organizations to come, table, share their activities with our larger community, with the students, the teachers, and the families.
It's important to know about the world around us so that we can understand it and be able to work with it safely and with interest. I made churning butter, and we took 4 different kinds of creams and shook them for 40 minutes and saw which one of them made the most butter.
The projects tonight really exemplify the shifts that we want to see across our schools. Our kids have a lot of ideas, and I think, who does the science is going to shape what we as a nation choose to prioritize and fund and find solutions for. So it's important for Oakland, and it's important for our nation and our world to have our students grow into problem solvers.
I think tonight was pretty fun. A lot of people came here, played the game. They liked it. I'm very proud of my project. I think I did a good job. I just love science in general. It's so creative and so precise. It's like precise creativity. I just love science. There's so much to learn about it.
called Verge. Verge 18 is the first time it's in Oakland, which is incredible. We're so excited that Skyline has students coming to Verge 18 this year because we really want to have a diversity of attendees. So we want not just clean technology employees, but we also want young kids who are excited about what we're doing here to see and be able to experience what we're putting on.
It's a convention where a bunch of companies who want to, help the earth, they pitch their sales ideas.
I think that today's event is really enlightening. I feel like I'm getting a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different ideas, especially how I can incorporate that into my daily life and how I can become more of a green person and just getting that motivation to continue in fields relating to environmental research.
For us in the Green Energy Pathway, this is a dream come true. We just learned about this bench conference where all the green businesses meet and talk about what they have coming in the future. With our students learning about sustainability, it's a great opportunity for us to come here, bring our kids, for them to see what's going on around this region, what business and different companies are doing to help to keep our planet sustainable, right? Environment sustainable too.
We saw that there's this new concrete that they're making that captures CO2.
The CO2 sequestration?
Yeah.
That one was
mind blowing.
My mind was gone. I couldn't
because the biggest emitter of CO2 greenhouse gases is concrete.
We didn't know that.
I went over to the conference and I found that part also incredibly interesting, how they were talking about trying to help the environment, talking about a circular economy. So far, I've really enjoyed it.
So the students get to come, they got to listen to a lot of our main stage speakers, they get to go explore the expo hall, which has different vendors who are doing all different types of things, so from waste management to cutting plastics out of products to battery technologies. There's almost anything here that they can see, experience.
Today we live in a society in which some people don't even believe global warming exists, which is weird. And I feel like when you actually show them the facts and the statistics, oh, you're wasting too much water, oh, plastic is being thrown out too much, oh, this, that. It's a really interesting event. I'm glad to be a part of it.
I've always been interested in science and engineering. After looking around, now I think it's possible for me to get involved, since I'm seeing all these people all bring new ideas to the table, and each one has their own vision they want. I've been interested in chemistry a lot, so I think if I were to get involved, I would work in a chemistry-related field. It's been a really eye-opening experience, and I get to experience a lot of new things.
It's an opportunity for me to come here and network so that we get some of these industry professionals who are in these green businesses to be able to come to our school, my pathway, and see what our kids are doing, the wonderful projects and learning that is taking place. And we want the learning to be related to the real world, experience what's going on in the real world in the area of energy efficiency and sustainability. And we want our students to also come and see that what they are learning in the pathways have relevance. Look at all of this. This is all about green businesses and all the innovations and the new things that they are doing to help make our environment sustainable.
I think it's super important to help the earth because we're dying.
Yeah.
So these jobs are what we need to be.
Right.
We need to do.
It's a really cool event. And I think more students should get involved in this. So they should be able to see what others can achieve and be inspired in order to achieve something themselves.
We have a visiting class of about 20-something middle school students from Frick Middle School here at Oakland Unified School District. This field trip is to introduce them into the yoga and mindfulness experience in a real yoga studio.
Today we did Savasana and yoga at a yoga center. It was interesting. We got to do cool things. We got to do Savasana, do Warrior 1, Warrior 2, do different poses to let out all the anger.
Yoga is important for students of all ages because of the practice that can help them learn to calm their minds and understand the connection between their mind, body, and spirit.
You do yoga to not let all the anger build up in your body, and then you have to let it all out.
I'm a cheerleader, so it helps me with my splits and my kick. I used to not be able to do a toe touch, and then I'm getting really bad at my toe touch. I know how to, I'm this close to doing splits, that close to doing splits.
My favorite part is when we stretch out and when we do like affirmation and stuff.
Practicing yoga is great for the students to learn to calm their mind, to be consciously aware just by working with mindfulness. And that's really what mindfulness is all about, learning how to be consciously aware of your thoughts, your speech, and action before it happens, and so that the kids can learn to be less reactive, more reflective. I'm sure that this sort of training and behavior is beneficial to their schoolwork, to their personal relationships, to their relationships in society in general.
My brothers, when they do too much, like I was sleeping, they poured water on me. I had got up, I was gonna start punching on them, but then I had thought about it and I started doing Warrior One, and and went in my room and closed my door. What it does for me is it like calms me down, like, cause I have yoga on my 8th period, so like since all that stuff that happened that day, it helps me calm down before I leave to school.
It relaxes me. It helps my stress go away, cause I stress a lot, and it's like refreshing.
Whose house? Whose house? That's what I'm talking about. When I say 3, you say P. 3, 3. This is an extraordinary moment in time for our city, for our country, for our school district.
We are celebrating a remarkable team of young men who defied the odds and defied California history to accomplish something that no other public high school had ever done in this state. The Private Warriors won not just 2, but 3 state championships. And Lady College on Saturday, December 15th, they took on the big, well-financed team from Garfield High, Los Angeles, in front of a packed house. They beat the Bulldogs 32-6. They won that 3rd state championship to officially become a dynasty.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's been a long road, and I'd like to thank my teammates behind me, because without each other, we couldn't do this. For the last 3 years, I came in as a junior to win last year and this year. And without all the support from SPAD, helping us get to college, DT, making me come to school on time, making sure we're going to be ready for college. And, we couldn't do this without support.
This is the 3rd championship, and I think our group of young men would agree that, or people that have been here for all 3 years, that this was probably the toughest of us.
I just want to say how proud I am of you all. Not just for your athletic success, but for your academic success. Just a few hours ago, we had our academic assembly for the fall. Many of these same individuals you see up here today were celebrated earlier for 4.0s, 3.5s, 3.0s. So what you're seeing is something truly amazing.
It's very difficult, especially in a sports school, to get folks to buy into academics. This is a testament of the Mack family, it's a testament of these young men and these young women, and it's a testament to this coaching staff led by Coach Peters to get coaches to buy into having their players stay after school to go to study hall first. 81%, the highest graduation rate for black boys in the state of California.
Hey! You guys always fight to get what these young people need and what they deserve. You guys are the first public high school to do this. You know, 2 other schools who did this, one in the state of South, and the other was another cabinet school. You guys are a school of 300 kids with little resources. You managed to bring yourselves to practice every day, to get in the weight room, to put everything out there.
Thank you to the coaching staff for all the help, support that they give you. It really takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to raise a village. Okay? made history in 4 different ways. First, to win a public school state championship in football, then to go back and win a second in a different division and was undefeated. Then go back and win a state championship in a third time in a third different division. Then Coach Peters earned the privilege of California Coach of the Year. First time ever done in the state of California by a man of color.
I was honored to attend the game, and you guys were amazing. The cheerleaders, you guys were awesome. I wish I could step like that again. We want to use this as a small step to show we are truly invested not only in the clients, not only in the program, but also in the clients which are the only West Coast, the only high school in West Coast.
You all are a bright light. You give us permission to believe. So just thank you for having the audacity to support each other during tough and trying times that you did.
To our students, focus on your blessings, not your misfortunes. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Be yourself and don't wait for approval. Be respectful and you'll get respect. God bless you and never forget to pray. Math is producing scholars and future leaders of our society.
Walk down the hallway to visiting. I see people who I got problems with and people I'm cool with. Then I get in Cedar Hall, visit my family for an hour. Then go back to my pod, living day by day.
EXCO stands for Exploring College and Career Options. And so during the school year, kids have a lot of prep with writing their resumes and preparing, professionalism to get ready for these summer internships.
We started talking to students earlier in the year about all different types of internships that would be available. Then they signed up for them, and then they had to go on interviews and actually get the job. We did a lot of coaching with the students from the very beginning, because at 16, 17 years old, when you're walking in to be interviewed, it's a pretty scary thing.
I'm not exactly sure what I want to be doing, so I saw this as a good opportunity to do a lot of different job fields to see what I'm interested in.
I'm not sure that I want to do in the future, but it's a good experience, especially for a female. I don't see that many females.
We had weekly meetings with the students at our campuses, and we talked about how things were going at their internship, what problems they were having. We were addressing how to be more effective, how to get along with people, how to ask questions.
This program is important for the future of the city as a whole, because we need all residents in the city, we need all businesses that are functioning in the city to have a sense of caring and understanding for our local school system. And this is a key way to build that sense of caring and understanding about what our students face, as well as what our students are capable of, and what our schools are trying to do to ensure that all of our graduates walk that stage and are ready to enter into this community as adults.
We're always going to have those students who are ready to take on every next academic challenge that you throw at them, but for those students who may struggle seeing the relevance of their education or may not be the most engaged, I think the fact that we're able to leverage the relationships that we have with them, having worked with them throughout the entire school year, and also use our insight of who they are as a student to challenge them so that they can grow. And I think that relationship in a lot of ways is what carried them through. It never hurts to have someone who's supporting you, who tells them you believe in them.
When I go to school, I have to deal with people who aren't as passionate about their education. So being here kind of stripped that away and said, if you're really passionate about filming, then come here. And that allowed me to just thrive in a group of people. Because if I didn't do the summer internship, I'm pretty sure I would just be at summer school and then I would just be home.
Students gain a lot from this, directly from the internship, but also in how they see themselves, which we see translate all the time into students walking back into school with a completely different sense of purpose about their education.
I had a student called Jonathan who was kind of struggling in class in terms of academic performance. He did the bare minimum to pass and he was behind in his academic credit. He signed up for this program. He went there, experienced what it was to work in the real world life. He became so involved and engaged. It was as if a light bulb had gone off within him. He started taking his classes seriously. His GPA went from 1 point something to almost 3.0. And he was not on track to graduate, but he graduated when he came back. He never made the connection from what we were telling him in class, but when he went out to the workforce, I think it dawned on him. Everything about him just changed.
Your typical type A student that, during the school year, they're doing everything to the letter, super confident, and then when it comes to getting into a summer internship, all that confidence they seem to have during the school year starts to kind of dwindle away. So I had a kid this year who was literally calling me every single day, Miss Mackey, I don't think I can do this. Miss Mackey, I don't think I can do this. So every day it was a little cheerleading conversation, yes, you can. What do you mean you can't do this? Having to cheerlead him through that whole thing, where if it was a kid that, I didn't have this established relationship with, I'd be like, well, maybe this kid really isn't ready to do this. If I didn't have that background of having known this student in my academy for 2 years already.
This program gives our kids the opportunity to experience real-life workplace skills, how they are used.
The skills I've been learning mainly teach discipline. They teach discipline, they teach routine, they show me how to look professional, which can help in pretty much anything that I decide to do.
Everything that I'm learning now is like a step forward in front of everybody else who is trying to get to the same spot that I'm at. So everything that I'm learning now, when I get older and I go into EMT trainings, it will probably be stuff that I already know. So I'm one step ahead.
I think it needs to come through OUSD in order to reach all students. The reality is that that's the only way. There's a certain amount of agency that parents need to have in order to get kids into these internships if they're run through other agencies. Public schools, we're going to get everyone, and we're going to get those kids and those families who lack that agency. It's a big deal that OUSD has taken this on. I'm an OUSD alum. I was Fremont alum. I had an paid internship. There was no other way I would have gotten an internship because my parents didn't know about all these other programs that existed. They didn't know the first thing about how to get me in there. I don't see any other way for it to work and to actually reach all of Oakland.
The students are able to learn from them firsthand. So they actually see the importance coming from the workplace. They're able to make connections. Okay, so this is what our teachers talk to us about, help us to learn about, but it didn't really make sense, but now it does, you know, like not placing your feet on the table at workplace, right? Learn to put it down, and it's okay, now it makes sense, right? In class, it's hard for them to understand that. So there are so many aspects of life that this program gives our students the opportunity to learn, and it all has to do with social emotional learning.
I think it really gives the students a lot of insight and hopefully is going to help them in the community to become community leaders, to get great jobs, to do things that they love, and to realize that they can do anything they want to do. Anything they have an interest in, follow it through. And the support that we give them, I think, really helps them through the way.
Man, that movie was hella trash. I could have made something way better than that.
How?
Yeah, do you even have a camera?
Yeah, man.
Don't even trip.
That's on you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Stevie, are you seriously writing a script?
Oh, no way, you're writing a script?
Yeah,
Here,
why?
I got the perfect place for you. Come with me. Yeah, I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna write till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the cameras in the bag, XLR attached. Gonna fade to black, got ideas and skills to match. Writing films, of course, you can join our force. Welcome to the studio, just come right through the door.
Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Becoming a producer or maybe a director. Boss said be a writer. You can go and act. Making all these movies to tell you what the truth is. I'ma live my dream, man. You can do it too, kids. Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Yeah, I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't no more. Upward bound, rep the town, gonna be a big star, making hella money. I'm about to win an Oscar. Youth Beats gotta have it, festivals and movie showings. Catch us by Lake Merritt, teaching all the kids in Oakland. Been through all that. When we done with the show, we just kick on back. Wish I could stay down here in the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't no more.
Youth Beat. Youth Beat.
I came here without English, anything, like, I didn't want to come here. It was Mexico, that's the place that I born, right? Now that I'm older, I think more. Like, what was, like, the circumstances over there, the money, the dangers, like, drugs. Like, all my friends right now, like, they kind of selling drugs and stuff like that. Some of them, like, die, they kill them over there. And nowadays, I'll be like, oh, what if that was me?
Latino Men and Boys program started in Oakland, East Oakland, under the leadership of Paul Flores and the Unity Council.
There was a violence problem, there was an unemployment problem, there was a school dropout problem, there was a health access problem. There was no kind of reasoning around why was it happening, and so they asked me to come in and lead the research project because I was a Latino male.
You know, when I think of the importance of programs like Latino Men and Boys, I mean really programs that have a focus on our Latino population, on our African American population, really it's much more than just academic improvement. It's really saving lives.
So this program is very important for these kids because it gives them a sense of identity, a sense of belonging.
We need a youth development or character development program in all of Oakland Unified that addresses Latino male needs. What we ended up doing was creating a big recommendation around what kind of program would support Latino males in the schools. That became the Latino Men and Boys program.
Personally, the Latino Men and Boys program is something that I was very excited about because it reminds me a lot of the journey that my father took when he came here from Mexico when he was a young man, 13 years old, and dealing with a lot of the things that these young boys are still dealing with today. Immigration status, language barriers, heavy burdens from their family to work. This is a chance to address things that have been going on for decades.
The biggest changes have been the expansion of the program from one school to 3 schools to now 10.
LMB serves as not only a comprehensive support system, it's like a family, it's a tribe.
It's something that they feel a part of. When they're hearing about their culture, when they're seeing a male mentor that might even reflect, you know, somebody in their family or somebody that they might know, it just helps them out, you know, socially, emotionally. It's a program that they can work on, you know, little things that'll help them get ready for the future.
It's important because in the time right now, I believe, especially in the Hispanic community, it's like a huge gap. I mean, I'm the first generation of everything, but then someone else could be the second generation, so they either forgot most of their Spanish or like just have a different experience. Like I have documentations that you don't, like, and I feel like the program kind of doesn't really focus on it. Just makes us all equal. Gives us the same opportunities as well.
Holding on helped me like in a lot of ways. The way that I think about people, the way that I think about culture, to believe in me, and then like to believe in the rights that I have in me. They make me think more about my future, not just about the present.
Thinking broadly, I think we want these young men to realize that a high school diploma is attainable, a college education is attainable, and I think it's really kind of getting the word out that education is really the key.
If it wasn't for LMB, there pretty much wouldn't be a higher graduation rate for Latino males. I mean, if it wasn't for them, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have graduated high school. Would have been a high school dropout.
I learned about my culture. I learned about me as a human being. I learned how to respect one another. I learned how to start being an adult.
We promote, you know, talking from the heart, talking about the real issues that are going on. And once they see that, you know, they're not alone, and it kind of gets them to really reflect and think about, is this something that's been happening in my family for generations? Is this something that I want to improve on? And if so, how am I going to do it? Then they're able to feel more confident and, you know, finding the resources, doing something proactive.
That's the big thing for me that came out of it, like networking skills. I recently met Obama last December, and if I never had the networking skills that Latino Men and Boys gave me, I'm pretty sure I would have never met Obama, and that's, I don't know, pretty cool to me.
Well, every day that we meet, everybody sits around the circle. It's to teach the kids to respect one's ideas or feelings or beliefs, and it's to have everybody look at each other in their eyes when they're speaking.
The best way of looking at it is just self-development, self-acknowledgement of self. When we talk about the youth and what they've gone through, when these youth see us, Latino from the same community, they see themselves in us now. A lot of these youth that we deal with, they don't have any type of confidence, they don't have any type of self-respect, right? And so we give them a voice, we give them power and a strength. They see and respect the fact that we grew up and made a life, and so they want to push themselves. And of course we tell them, you can do anything you want, it's just a matter of trying. And we tell them, you have my palabra, I'm gonna be here for you. Then they feel confident enough to say, you know what, I gotta do what I have to do. They just bring a lot of things that they've never dealt with, and they don't feel comfortable speaking to their parents or friends about. So they just bring things that need to be said, but they don't know who to tell. So we give them that space. Some people forget that they go through a lot more than what you expect.
My job is to let them know that college is an option, you know, with the help of myself and other resources here on campus, that they can achieve their academic goals as well.
We're able to connect. That's the importance of having a mentor or someone they can look to as a friend or as an uncle or as a big brother. Having programs like LMB based in the school and the community, by having someone that can be, you know, go to in school, at school, equals success.
It was actually one of the mentors that noticed my depression and referred me to one of the services of the clinic, and I was just like blown away by it. Like, pretty much one of the mentors I spotted her on like really early on. I'm really thankful for that, because I mean I could have been worse if no one noticed it.
When I was here, I would have definitely benefited from a program like this. It's about making sure that these kids achieve whatever it is that they want to. I mean, so just to let them know that they're not alone in the struggle, and the struggle's been going on for a long time. That's what this whole program's about, for them not to be afraid. Either get a job or go to school. I want them to have those options and not be limited to what fields we've been pushed in throughout generations.
I've gotten a lot. My behavior has changed. My grades, they helped me a lot with my work, everything. It just helped me being a better person.
I'm really, really, really thankful for what they gave me to me, like what they helped me on, like how they helped me to be able to express myself with them. The main thing that they gave me is like to believe in myself, to be able to express yourself to everyone, and then think more about the community, about the people that is in the community, about your family, and about your future.
If they're ready to make a change, if they're ready to change that cycle of poverty, of violence, whatever's been happening in their community, then definitely join Latino Men and Boys.
I'm Kyla Johnson-Trammell, OUSD Superintendent. And I am excited about the first day of school. I'm here chilling at Elmhurst United Middle School with all the wonderful middle school students. I spent my morning at Brewer dropping my own child off at his first day of middle school. I'm excited to get this school year started and having a joyous, wonderful school year.
Hi, I'm Curtis Zaricki. I'm the Chief of Staff for Oakland Unified School District. And what I'm so excited about this year is all of our new Measure J facilities coming online, particularly our new central kitchen, education center, and instructional farm, where we're going to be able to get fresh food in front of all of our kids.
Hi, my name is Sandra Aguilera. I'm the Chief Academic Officer. I'm happy to be visiting schools today because of all the hard work that our staff, our community, and students have done. I'm very excited to see the academic progress in our schools, and I also love to see all the joy that students bring to learning and the staff in the work that they're doing with our students.
Hi, Preston Thomas, the new Chief Systems Service Officer. Just finished a tour of 6 schools today, and school is off and running. Really excited to work on the central office systems and getting them to serve school communities and to improve our student outcomes. So really excited for this year.
Well, day to day, I'm responsible for the overall upkeep of the facilities. So anything that, pertaining to your lights, your plumbing, anything regarding facilities, I'm in charge of making sure all that stuff is working properly for our children.
Well, here I'm basically taking care of the place, keeping it safe and clean for the kids for the next following day.
One of the things I do, I make sure it's clean. Another thing I do, I reach out to the kids. I talk to the kids, whatever problems they're having, they talk to me. I give open door for them to come talk to me. I had a kid last year, third period, all last year. I sponsored him for the senior ball. For the junior ball, I'm sorry, I got to sponsor him again for the senior ball this year.
In my job, I have a direct impact on the students and their learning. If I can keep the school where it is clean, where they feel like it's safe, where it's properly working, where they have pride in their school, I feel as though you can directly impact that student without being in the classroom with them. It was something that was interesting to me because my mother and father both worked for the school district in San Francisco, and that's where they met, so it's kind of special to me.
My dad was a custodian, so I followed my dad's background. One of the things that was funny to me, I was 18, and they threw me in McClymonds when I first started. That was so funny to me. I was with the same age people as me. You know, that was funny. I used to be a floating supervisor. I used to go to all the schools. One of my schools I went to, it was a skunk. I stayed in my car. So the principal, this big guy, he comes up and I said, there's a skunk over there. He said, oh, Harry, he's okay. And he shooted him off. I thought that was so funny.
One time, working on a campus up there in the hills, it was a deer that I came face to face with, and it was as tall as me. It was a young buck deer, so I was pretty nervous, but I let him get his space and walked around and got the flag.
We had a dog that actually got on campus the other day, but it ended up turning out to be a neighbor's dog, and the dog was super friendly. You know, the children were able to come up and hug him, and all he wanted was something to eat. We were able to go to the kitchen and grab something to eat, and we enticed him off the campus.
I'm just thankful to be working, especially around good people and in the community with the kids and with the families also. It's a very good thing to experience. I love it.
I'm happy that we are celebrating International Translation Day. We had a very incredible team. Everyone is really capable and hardworking. So we're serving the Oakland Unified School District community.
Being an interpreter is both a rewarding and challenging job.
Our translation team is an essential component of our community outreach.
OUSD is a diverse school district. Oakland is a diverse city. It has to be on the cutting edge of equity issues, of multicultural issues. Translation is an equity issue. It's about giving equal opportunity for parents to speak, to give their opinion, to navigate what is the American educational context.
As a public school system, it is our job and responsibility to provide opportunities for all families and students to have the support and the knowledge and the information. And without translation services, we would be leaving out and not providing those access to many, many of our students and families.
The truth is that the job of interpreter and translator is always evolving and never boring.
With our Board of Education, when families are there to speak before the public, we have an entire translation team that is there in a most prominent way. We have translation that works with our most neediest and most vulnerable families in every step of the way, from the very onset of promoting our schools to the times that families exit our schools. We are translating for them. We are lifting their voice so that they can be heard and so that they can be understood.
It's a critical component in making the community feel heard by providing them information in their native tongue.
It's the relationships that are built. Translational services, they have the knowledge of how school sites and districts run, but also the knowledge of what the families are trying to communicate and what the families need.
One thing that I hope in the future, we are recruiting young generation. We need the younger generation to pick up our work so our work can continue in the future. So this is what I'm hoping for.
We learned about a bunch of stuff. We learned about the apprenticeship here, the 5-year, the 4-year, the 2-year, the difference between that. I used to use safety.
It's a 5-week program that we partner with Cypress Mandela. It's an internship opportunity for our students. At the end of this program, they end up OSHA 10 certified. So they've got an entry level if they decide to go into the skill trades and construction related program. And they learn about measurement. They learn about the use of tools. They learn about safety of work.
Since I'm not sure about my whole after high school, so I thought this would be a good start.
My counselor recommended me to an internship. It gave me something to do That was like the positive, another like positive thing that this program did, like give me something to do and something to look forward to. I also like it because like it just teach you different things, different trades. It ain't just one thing that you're doing every day for 4 weeks.
The description that it gave that was hands-on, that really interested me. And then I don't necessarily know what I want to do with my future, and I thought this is like a great backup plan because the pay is good. They're teaching me different things about construction, the trades, and that's like, you know, opening me up, giving me skills. I think it's just pretty cool to make something yourself. That's one of the reasons I chose this program.
We do all of the trades here at Cypress. We do carpentry, electrical, plumbing, cement masonry. We do heavy equipment, and we do a lot of environmental remediation training too as well. And we also offer CPR, first aid, and AED training here as well. If you don't know exactly what you want to do, come listen to the instructors, tell you what we do here, what we have to offer, and come give us a try. You'll never know until you get some exposure what kind of talents you got.
When they graduate, they understand that post-secondary education is whatever they decided to be. It can be hands-on with skilled trades, they can go into engineering, architecture, whatever they want to do, but the skilled trades and advanced manufacturing is something that we haven't lifted up in the last 25 years.
I actually went to a 4-year college and graduated and got my degree, and the work wasn't paying enough, and so definitely getting into trades is good paid, and that's really what I'm looking for, be able to find stability and be able to support a family. They not only teach you trade and skills, they teach you life skills as well, and that's very good to have, how to deal with other people on the work site, deal with, you know, bosses you might not get along with. It's just a lot of information, and they help you with your math. I mean, it's just a really good program, really. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
You could be a 4.0 student and want to go to the skilled trades. You could be a 2.0 student. It has to be something that calls you, but the students won't know that this is an option unless we lift it up.
I think it's really important because it gives me an insight on how people actually work and what they're doing and how they're going to work in the future.
If you don't know what you want to do with your future, you know, you're not aware of what opportunities you have, totally get into this program. This specific trade, how they're paying for the college to learn about this. You're getting paid a lot of money, you're getting retirement, you're getting benefits.
Stay positive and be open-minded whatever you got going on in your internship. Just try to learn as much as you can.
Well, I got my new glasses and I feel very confident with them. I can see much more better with them.
We are the first school-based health center in the area to open a vision center, and we're super excited because this is really one of those keys to supporting kids academically, is making sure that all their health needs are met, and in particular, vision is a really, really critical one.
We give out eye exams and glasses to students within the local community and as well as in Oakland Unified School District.
It was very hard because I was like basically sitting in the back of the class and I had to go like that to be able to see a little better, but it still was like a little blurry. So I always had to talk with my teacher so they can let me sit in the front of the class.
My problem, it was like with farsight, and like when I was in 5th grade, I couldn't like see what was my homework about in the morning. So it was hard. I had to go really close to write it down. In 6th grade, it was more hard because I was sitting at the back of the class.
It was a little affecting me because I couldn't see from far away. So I was like kind of like, oh, what did he say? Or can you repeat it again? Or can you read it? Can you tell me? So yeah, it was like kind of affecting me.
There's a lot of barriers. So families sometimes don't know where they can go. Some of the vision services, you have to wait a long time to get an appointment. We also are able to provide our services at no cost to families. We really want to make sure that every student has the opportunity to have academic success, and that's linked to them being able to get the services that they need. And so vision is now something that we can promote.
The clinic has already been seeing so many students for their like STI testing, for their mental health, and it's just like another addition that's pretty easy to integrate with the services already here.
In this clinic, they told me it was free, but I mean, for being free, it's a very good clinic. it helps a lot. And now I can see very clearly.
So my glasses helped me because I mostly sit in the back of the class. I couldn't see from far, and I kept trying to go like this. And so once I got my glasses, it was more easier. It feels like I don't have them at all. Like if I just had like if I had my old vision back.
It was good because before when I came here, my vision was all blurry. I couldn't see anything. And then they helped me to get my glasses so I could get my vision back again.
At Youth Beat, we're giving young people the tools to express themselves, to be empowered, to tell their stories, and be professional media makers here in the Bay Area.
Youth Beat in KUL is very unique from a classroom because at Youth Beat you actually have the physical equipment here, and then you get to touch it and you get to actually make your way through everything.
My experience at Youth Beat is fantastic. It really helped me find my place in Oakland.
I didn't expect it to be this amazing. I feel welcome, very welcome.
Well, I picked this internship because I really like movies and just getting to know behind the scenes on how stuff is made. I thought was really cool, and this internship has been really good so far.
I chose this internship because I want to try something different, and I already have a little bit of experience making videos.
Every year we work with a group of summer interns who are working on real-life professional projects, student newscasts, or student news reports, documentaries for outlets like the PBS NewsHour, as well as enterprise pieces for local community clients.
We visited a company called Portal A. That was a cool experience. I never thought I'd meet a company that makes professional videos. And we went on some shoots for some commercials for Children's Hospital. I've never worked for a client, so it was a fun experience.
Our strongest institutional partner is KDOL TV, the educational access TV station of the Oakland Unified School District. We're based at KDOL, and by partnering with KDOL, we're able to have a state-of-the-art studio space where young folks can come and learn these media skills.
It certainly opened a lot more opportunities that I never thought of, because I didn't know much about cameras and how this industry works.
Now that I'm in this program, I feel like one of my paths could be around cinematography and video production.
Technology is exploding all around us. A lot of the low-income youth of color that are growing up here in Oakland Public Schools are just not getting access to the types of opportunities, the types of tools and skills that they need to thrive in that workforce. We're able to not only give these services for free, but we're able to provide stipends and pay for our young folks that complete our programming. Our mission at Youth Beat is to change lives through media, arts, and technology, and the way we do that is through education, empowerment, and employment.
If I didn't have Youth Beat, then I don't think I'd be as joyful as I am now.
It made me want to focus more on film. I still want to be an aspiring filmmaker.
Thank you for coming to join us for our 2018 Winter Concert. Now that's what we're talking about.
It's only once a year, so it's kind of a big deal. Most families did come, and it was really fun. I got to spend time with my friends. I got to see most of the parents here, and yeah, it was really fun.
This was our first concert, yes. It felt great. I felt at home. It felt very similar to one of my really happy concerts from Westlake. It really felt very nice.
Well, I'd like to thank our music teacher, Mr. Porter, who's brand new to us this year here at Roosevelt, but has had a long history here in Oakland Unified School District. Thank you for being with us.
I just see this place as so chock full of opportunity. And what I am reminded is that any Oakland school, or any school for that matter, is full of talent.
It's so exciting for me to work with all of your students, and I'm very happy to have you hear all the work that they've done. They're going to make some beautiful music tonight.
We have 6 different musical ensemble offerings.
My favorite one is Indian and Mad. It's the first one. And then there's Good King Wenceslas. And then there's folk dance and can-can.
For us, it's not just about math and reading
events are just fantastic. It's really well run. It's been a really nice place to be for me. Here at Roosevelt, we have about 600 kids, and because there's already a music culture, there are lots and lots of kids who are really into it. There's something really nice about being new again. For me to be able to do this and do it here, it's just really exciting.
So we're QSA, it stands for Queer Student Alliance, and our mission statement is just to make Oakland Tech a safer place for all queer students, and then to make all the other students great allies.
I think it's a really good way to express yourself, even if you don't feel like you're part of the LGBTQ community.
I just feel like being an ally and really supporting them, they can feel more comfortable with opening up about themselves.
When you show up to high school, everything's so new and scary, and you don't really know what people are gonna think about you, and then QSA is there and they're like, no matter what, we're gonna accept you as long as you're a decent human being.
Before I came to Tech and did QSA, I didn't know much about these, but I feel like creating it as a norm to just talk about it, and we also try and have teachers talk about it, creates it so it's less of this thing that can be made fun of, that kids know that it's not okay to use slurs or to call someone gay as trying to make fun of them, because it's not an insult.
The parade was really fun. This was my second year at Oakland Pride. It's a really fun experience because everyone in the crowd's positive, and you say woo, and everyone's yelling nice things, and there's people with the free hug signs, and I got to stand with my friends.
Awesome always, because there's just so many people there and support, and then there would be those moments of oh, I'm a teenager, there's people looking at me and they are associating me with this community, and it's prideful. I would get goosebumps.
Pride was so beautiful. I actually cried a little bit during the parade. I think it's really incredible to see young people not just get to be themselves publicly, but to literally have people come out of their houses and cheer them on. I think makes such a powerful statement to them about the fact that they're loved exactly how they are.
It was really powerful. It was actually one of the most positive Pride experiences I've ever had, because we got to march in the parade. For some of my youth, it was their first Pride ever, and they were just really excited and frantically waving their rainbow flags, and it was just fun.
This year, having so many more students and also a lot of staff members from the school joined us, so it felt really good to have those kids there and have the support of their staff as well. It was really exciting. The kids, every time they walked past, people were cheering for them and were Oakland students, and the kids were just super excited. I saw a bunch of them run over to the side and hug some people who had signs that said free mama hugs and a bunch of other things. They were so excited. It was really amazing.
I would say QSA is an extremely fun and welcoming community. Super welcoming of allies and folks who are questioning, and they're actually really skilled peer educators as well. So if folks are curious about what does it mean to be queer or trans, they're able and actually excited to help answer those questions.
I feel like it's pretty important for them to feel like that, so they like to go to school and have a way to have fun at school instead of being uncomfortable the whole time and have other people who are like them.
I like having a group of people that I can feel safe with, because I kind of have a little bit of social anxiety, so I don't like being around people, but I'm working on it.
I think that QSA is really important both for the kids who attend and for our school more broadly. It definitely provides a safe place for the kids who come to QSA. I see them come and they act differently than they do in the halls, I think, because they feel like they can be themselves in the space of the club. When I was in middle school, Ellen hadn't even come out yet, and so it wasn't even available to me to be around people who were like me. I just kind of thought I was wrong in that way. So in middle school, when kids are discovering and questioning and all of these things are coming up, I think is the best time to have a group to support those students through that process.
Without this GSA, I wouldn't know what half of these terms are. I wouldn't be half as open-minded, and to be honest, I wouldn't know who I am.
The Crucible is a really, really unique place where anybody can learn new skills and express themselves.
We're a nonprofit industrial and fine art school, so we're an art school that's dedicated to instructing folks in a number of different processes. So we've got about 22 different departments that we teach classes out of, ranging from welding to glass blowing, into woodworking, ceramics, electronics, kinetics programs, a lot of fire effects classes and things like that as well. So we're an art school, but not an art school for artists as much as we are an art school for anybody that has a desire to build and make with their hands.
I started coming here as a youth when I was 13, and I loved it so much I would come all summer as long as I could. Why I love working here? Because it is just an amazing way to be yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody and what they think, and you can just create art and just express yourself in any way possible.
Having an opportunity to make a living doing something that you enjoy and that you don't really see as work. You see it as a passion and something that's just a part of your life.
Just the community here is amazing and supportive and completely unique.
Who is the ideal student? Anybody that walks through the door. We kind of meet you where you are, whether you regardless of your access, regardless of where you come from, your background, anything like that, everybody has the ability to be able to be creative.
My definite favorite part of the program is watching the kids grow. So it's crazy to see the difference as they grow and to see how they mature and to see their work grow. Or like we had a kid a couple years ago come in and his mom was afraid he was taking blacksmithing. He wasn't going to be able to handle it because he was a little smaller and a little younger. And then at the end of the program on the Friday, he had done so well, he made this amazing pair of chopsticks. And we asked who they were, and of course, it was the one kid whose parent who didn't think he could do it. And out of all the kids, he was the one who made the best project. So it's really nice to see like kids come into their own here.
We try our very best to get people to embrace their creativity and make beautiful art.
I think once you sit down in a seat in a classroom and experience building and creating yourself, it's something that's extremely empowering and transformative, and I wish everybody has that opportunity to do that.
I'm Kyla Johnson-Trammell, OUSD Superintendent. And I am excited about the first day of school. I'm here chilling at Elmhurst United Middle School with all the wonderful middle school students. I spent my morning at Brewer dropping my own child off at his first day of middle school. I'm excited to get this school year started and having a joyous, wonderful school year.
Hi, I'm Curtis Zaricki. I'm the Chief of Staff for Oakland Unified School District. And what I'm so excited about this year is all of our new Measure J facilities coming online, particularly our new central kitchen, education center, and instructional farm, where we're going to be able to get fresh food in front of all of our kids.
Hi, my name is Sandra Aguilera. I'm the Chief Academic Officer. I'm happy to be visiting schools today because of all the hard work that our staff, our community, and students have done. I'm very excited to see the academic progress in our schools, and I also love to see all the joy that students bring to learning and the staff in the work that they're doing with our students.
Hi, Preston Thomas, the new Chief Systems Service Officer. Just finished a tour of 6 schools today, and school is off and running. Really excited to work on the central office systems and getting them to serve school communities and to improve our student outcomes. So really excited for this year.
Man, that movie was hella trash. I could have made something way better than that.
How?
Yeah, do you even have a camera?
Yeah, man.
Don't even trip.
That's on you.
Yeah, man.
Hey Stevie, are you seriously writing a script?
Oh, no way, you're writing a script?
Yeah,
Here,
why?
I got the perfect place for you. Come with me. Yeah, I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna write till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the cameras in the bag, XLR attached. Gonna fade a black, got ideas and skills to match. Writing films, of course, you can join our force. Welcome to the studio, just come right through the door.
Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Becoming a producer, or maybe a director. Boss said be a writer. You can go and ask her. Making all these movies to tell you what the truth is. I'ma live my dream, man. You can do it too, kids. Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. Can't nobody catch me slacking. I'm at youth lead acting. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't no more. Upward bound, rep the town, gonna be a big star, making hella money. I'm about to win an Oscar. Youthie's gotta have it, festivals and movie showings. Catch us by Lake Merritt, teaching all the kids in Oakland. Been through all that. When we done with the show, we just kick on back. Wish I could stay down here in the studio. I'm gonna film till I can. Yeah, I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my script to the studio. I'm gonna film till I can't no more.
Youth Beat. Youth Beat.
I think computer science is important for everybody and everything. It's going to be everywhere, and so what we're working on building is some exposure and interest in computer science.
It's a time when I can finally see what my colleagues are doing, get excited for all the work that the students are creating, and really get to understand the whole landscape of computer science in Oakland.
My project was the drum set back there.
What? That's cool! We're doing it in Corridor by animation. It's about a dog that has to try to get bones, and each bone it gets, it goes up a point. You have to go up to 50 points and you win. And yeah, it's very fun here. A lot of different projects.
Other groups here are using robots to solve real-world problems. I've got game designers here. We've got an awesome beat studio that's happening in the background, which I love.
We've heard some music. We've seen like little like guitars and stuff like that, but a lot of games and websites and like stuff programmed by the computers. And on Scratch, there's a lot of Scratch and Wix. Pretty cool.
My students made a rock band because we needed to rock out, and that's just fun. And so my students were challenged with designing, building, prototyping, testing, and using different musical instruments. And they had to use a makey-makey, which is a circuit board that connects the physical world to the digital world.
So I started the project quite a while last year to show off at a gala that I was invited to by Code.org. I started doing computer science mostly from inspiration from my brother because I saw that we could do a lot of cool things by coding.
I really like engineering, and to be an engineer, you need to know coding.
So this is how they generally interact and view the world is through this technology lens. And so to give them the understanding and the idea that not only is the path set up for them from their introduction at middle school or K-6, their introduction all the way through middle school, all the way up to pathways, they get to see what lies ahead of them, where they can take this excitement that they've already gained in the undergrades and take it to the higher grades and really like push it to the next level. And so I'm really excited for what students learn from today about what the future holds for them.
I think it's really, really important that we're starting early and teaching kids the fundamentals of computer science and advanced computer science work as early as middle school. It's great.
Shout out to all the people who come and support OUSD and support our students and make this knowledge real life, tangible, meaningful. It all comes together through computer science, and you see it and hear it in a space like today here at Ojai.
Subterfuge. SUBTERFUGE.
That is correct.
I was really nervous and I didn't know if I was going to win. My teacher gave us the word list and my mom, dad, and brother helped me with the words.
I feel great and also sweaty. I was having fun. I was a little nervous. I was getting a little bit stressed.
Well, I studied a bit, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes every night. That other guy who competed with me was just really good and he knew words that I didn't know.
I got a list. It was like 500 words and I studied them all. There was paraphernalia and acrimonious, the last two words that I studied really hard.
Pretty excited because my brother made it to the district 2 years ago and he failed, so.
I felt a little bit better, especially after I spelled the word correctly, because I knew they were counting on me to win, or at least go through the best I could.
They should just know what words are going to be and just do your best, you know.
Today, it was a lot of energy, a lot of support, a lot of love. It felt good being on a bus, going throughout Oakland, seeing all the support we have.
Today is the Oakland High and Oakland Tech State Championship Parade for basketball. We started at Oakland Tech. We went around all downtown Oakland, past some elementary schools and high schools, and had a good time.
Today was really fun, seeing all the little kids outside cheering us on and all the posters they made for us. It was really sweet because I didn't even think that they knew about us.
Well, it's been pretty fun. Like when we stopped in downtown and they had like purple and blue signs and stuff, so many people out on the street and stuff and just waving. So it's like pretty cool to know like people support us.
Everything we've done, you kind of you wonder how it's going to go. The moment I got to Tech, I was just like, oh man, the kids were out there, lunch was letting out, it got loud. Our cheerleaders did a number before we left, just unexpected. Kind of a good place to be because it's a little nervous excitement. I was so impressed when we went by one of the schools and they made signs, you know, Oakland Tech champs, like a little kid, you know, but no, incredible day.
Actually being able to go to the elementary schools and the junior high schools and see the kids smile, and we bought a whole lot of candy and we were throwing candies. I know the teachers kind of went crazy. I really enjoy seeing them and getting out and shaking hands with them and giving them beads and just putting a smile on their face, and that's what it's really about.
It was a lot of energy from both teams, Oakland High and Oakland Tech. It felt good having both teams driving throughout Oakland, so it was a lot of energy. The energy was above, beyond.
It's been a lot of happiness and like a relief because we all worked very hard for this day and night. And there's been days where we wanted to give up, there's been days where we cried together, and now we just all came together and achieved this accomplishment.
We're both from Oakland, we're both in the Unified School District, so to have both of us there, it's really a step up for Oakland because people think that we're not as good in basketball because we go to a public school, but that's just showing that public schools can do it too.
It means a lot because when we won, it was during Women's Month, so it felt good winning during Women's Month, especially like Oakland, you know, they're known for like crime non-violence and stuff. So it felt good just seeing something positive happen in Oakland with girls winning basketball.
Nowadays, a lot of people think, oh, because I'm a girl, I shouldn't be playing basketball. I'm not good at basketball. It's a men's sport. So to show them people wrong, it really is encouraging for young women, especially me.
It's important because they need to see someone like them. They need to see that there are girls that are out here in the community doing good things.
You're going to have your days where you want to give up, and you're going to have your days where you lost all your confidence and where you just don't want to do it anymore. But you have to really dig down deep and find your inner self and look in the mirror and look at the pros and cons. And most likely, the pros are going to overweigh the cons. And always have confidence in yourself. No matter who doubts you, if you doubt yourself, go and talk to somebody that still believes in you.
I just say, like, working hard with your team, putting in the work and the effort, and play as a team. Don't play for yourself, just play for your team.
This is the second year that African American Office of Female Excellence has really brought girls together and women together to spend time with one another, teaching one another, learning with one another, and empowering one another around what it is to be a black woman.
Your power. Your power. Ashe and amen. The global world is still standing is because black women are still standing. Ashe.
I think that in terms of creating support for young girls of color, it's important to see role models who are like them and can talk to them about struggles. This event with Oakland Unified School District, I think, is an amazing way to start that journey.
So we have a pledge asking for our community to have a call to action. What are we doing in our institutions? What are we doing in our places of business? What are we doing in our schools and our community centers to ensure that girls are not exposed to the kind of conditions that are not healthy for them? What are we doing to make sure they have opportunities? We don't want girls to always feel like victims. We also want to lift up their aspirations, and they have a ton of aspirations. We have a responsibility to interrupt some of the things that we see going on in schools and in the community. Much of what girls are asking us is, where are our adult supports, our adult allies? We just need to regroup and see where we need to be and be present and participatory.
I wanted to check it out because it not only included girls, but it also included black women like myself. I thought it would be really beneficial. In the first part of the morning, I learned that black is power, and not only should you love yourself, but you should also love your culture because it really means a lot to you.
Getting an education so that we can go out and we can give back to our community, because our community definitely needs educated girls.
I think the biggest thing is definitely around power, with the theme being about the protection of women and the return of the warrior queen. Another part of it is also sisterhood, and so realizing that once we have that power and love for ourselves, then we can then give that back to each other, which just makes us stronger.
We found that it was our job and task and duty to make sure that the young women are empowered with the sense of equity, inclusion, and self-advocacy, so that they are able to empower the next generation after them.
They teach us how to be leaders and stuff, and how to lead your own work, and how to just stand out. I feel like it was very inspirational because they're black women, and I feel like they express how they were feeling, and now we should speak the truth and speak how you feel.
Don't scream. Don't move. Too late. One shot. Two shot. Who shot? Your block. 3 cops, 4 cops. We rock your pops. Your son, your mom. 3 moms, 4 moms, 5 moms, 10 mil. Standard. Stay still. Dead still. Young defenseless. Labeled reckless. Life begets us. Fire won't end us. Thank you.
I think this event will help me with my goals in the future by giving me social skills and confidence, because at first I wasn't really sure about myself and my self-esteem was really low, but as I listened to their speeches, it really encouraged me to keep going.
Whoa, I am that warrior queen. Wow, I do have power. Wow, there's a sister sitting next to me that's maybe older than me or younger than me. Wow, I'm about to spend the whole day with all these beautiful, beautiful black women.
They have 3 sessions of different workshops. One is around self-defense. There's another workshop around how do I develop myself. That includes finances, my self-esteem. We added more workshops for adults. How do you deal with your child who's experiencing trauma? How do you actually navigate the conditions that we find our children in now? And so we did that because we wanted also parents to be talking about what does it mean to be a part of this movement to advance girls.
I would like for Oakland Unified School District and Oakland to invest in our Black women. Black women hold us up. Black women are the reason why we're still here. Black women are the reason why we have a lot of our rights, and you're welcome.
Next year come, it's so empowering, it's so amazing, it's just like a place to be.
Our hope for Black Girl Power is that they find their inner power, their inner spirit, and so that they can actually thrive wherever they are.
You should come to this event because they'll help you succeed and you'll really understand their message that they're trying to tell you, and that even if the world has its back on you because of your identity, then you should ignore them because you should be grateful for who you are and proud.
Today here at Dewey Academy, we're hosting a grand opening for our health lab.
Today we gathered to celebrate the medical lab that we set up, which is the first medical lab here in Northern California. And it's very special because it's here at Dewey Academy, the alternative high school.
This is an amazing space where students have an opportunity to explore 12 different health science career fields. With each field, they learn a little bit about what the professionals have to do in that area, as well as they get exposure to some hands-on activities in each area.
For my class, we were kind of the first class to join the lab and actually experience it. We started off without the equipment, so we just started doing the modules. I learned how to take people's blood, take people's vitals. I also learned how to stitch. We did it with the prosthetic arm.
We got to learn how to strap a person up in a medical board and a lift, and how to, like, you know, wrap each other up and stuff. So it was more like a lot of hands-on training. I like to do that.
Not too long ago, I did get in a car accident and my friends was hurt, and I was able to like wrap up their arms and stuff because they did have bruises on their eyes and stuff, and they had it on their arms. We didn't have to go in that day because I already had wrapped them up and stuff. I just feel like they teach you more of life skills. They show you situations that you really gonna be in.
We invited industry partners, community partners to view students in our health lab so that they would be able to see how students have hands-on practices and skills to move into the health field.
Two of my students, they got 2 internships with the HEAL program, the Highland Hospital HEAL program, and they went above and beyond. So what they learned and their drive to dig deeper into the professions and go to school to actually be able to become a nurse or a surgeon, they have really risen.
It was a Highland internship where I get to learn behind the scenes, like I get to see the surgeries and stuff, and just learn like hands-on about like what doctors do at the hospitals.
What we're trying to do is work with community partners to help break down the barriers for students in Oakland to get into these career fields by giving them exposure both at the school site and giving them exposure to the academic terminology, but also the soft skills that are necessary to be successful in an internship.
When I had that class, literally all the other classes, all you do is sit down and do work. And so every time I knew I had that class, I was like super excited to go over there. Everyone's super nice in there, and all they want to do is help you gain more knowledge.
I'm just very excited that a lot of people got to see what we're doing here at Dewey and hope that other schools will implement this program too.
I had the privilege of teaching the first working period here at Dewey, and to have students enter the health lab who doubted themselves and didn't see themselves in a health career. And as they progressed through the 6 weeks, I saw a confidence increase. I saw students become more independent and really see what they're capable of. I saw a big increase in confidence and also interest in exploring health careers.
Miss Cheyenne, she opened my eyes to this stuff. She showed me like what I could do as an African American male. She showed me that it's more than just sports and rapping. It's like you could actually do this. Like it's more than like you could be somebody. She showed me about that.
We want to make sure that our students, when they come to Dewey Academy, our mission and vision says that we are a caring adult community. That's where we start, that's where we begin. We wrap around our students to make sure that they are loved and that they understood that they are cared about. Because as everyone knows, if you don't feel cared about, then you don't care about how much you know. So we want to make sure that they understand that we are here to support them, that they can depend on us, that they can trust us, and we're not going anywhere. We're not going to push them away. We actually pull them in.
We have to change the world. Change the world. Change the world with our hearts. I have a dream.
We must follow his words and do the right thing at the right time like him. Yes, this is the time to stop discrimination. This is the time to stop violence. This is the time to stand up against hate. This is the time to stand up for Black Lives Matter. And this is the time to stand up for each other.
Today is the 40th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Oratorical Festival Finals.
Schools at all grade levels from pre-kindergarten through 12th grade across Oakland's public schools, community schools, charter schools, private schools, and even students that are homeschooled participate. I just want to say thank you for Donald Oliver's vision, for the students of Oakland Public Schools, for their family and our community, that we are able 40 years later to continue this tradition.
En mis sueños no hay una palabra para guerra. In my dreams, there is no word for war.
I quit not giving 100%. I quit dimming my light so others won't have to squint. I quit hesitation, desperation, expectation, and devastation. I quit. Thank you.
Donald Oliver, who was a teacher in the district, had this vision of wanting to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., while at the same time looking for something that showed academic rigor. And so he created this new form through public speaking.
I'm a black parrot. She did not love me, so I wept until the red dawn dripped blood over the eastern hills, and my heart was bleeding too. I'm a phenomenal woman. That's me. I'm a woman phenomenally. We are here to love each other. That's why you are alive. That's what life is for. I've learned that people forget what you said. What did she say? People forget what you did. Oh, no, she didn't. But people never forget how you made them feel.
That vision has lived for 40 years. It's a tradition in the community. It highlights how amazing Oakland Unified School District students are. They shine, they're brilliant. They are word slangers and poets, actors, orators. We had young people here channeling Dr. King.
I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountaintop. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.